Take a tour through the Twin Caves, an introduction to Indiana Caves. As many of our patrons know, our summer reading theme for this year is exploring the great outdoors. With that in mind, each department of the Bookstown Public Library will create videos and websites featuring various components of Indiana wildlife. The first in this series, brought to you by the Children's Department, is a segment on Indiana Caves and provides an up-close look at the Twin Caves of Spring Mill State Park located in Mitchell, Indiana. When participating in cave exploration, safety is a key concern, so all participants on this tour are required to wear life jackets and are accompanied by a trained tour guide. Though southern Indiana is full of caves, there are very few caves open for exploration due to a growing concern about white nose syndrome, a bat disease that has killed more than 500,000 bats across the United States. Once a cave is infected with this fungus, it can have a mortality rate of more than 90%. Because the disease is believed to be transported on the shoes and clothing of humans, all state-run caves have been closed by the Indiana Department of Natural Resources in order to prevent further infestation. According to the DNR website, southern Indiana has a high population of bat species, and particular attention is being paid to the federally endangered Indiana bat. So you may ask why there is not a picture of the Indiana bat within this virtual tour. Well, during the tour you are asked not to photograph any bats out of fear that you will awaken them. The Department of Natural Resources reports that when a bat is aroused, it uses stored energy at a higher rate, decreasing their available energy supply for winter. However, you may spot an Indiana bat by looking upwards during the tour and checking the crevices and high ceilings like this one. According to the Indiana DNR, the Indiana bat is medium-sized, dull gray in color, and its head and body are about 1.5 to 2 inches long. The Indiana bat weighs around 1/4 of an ounce, and they are extremely difficult to discern from their relatives. In fact, the best way to separate them from their cousins is to examine the size of their feet and the length of their toe hairs. They live on average from 5 to 10 years. The caves of Indiana were mostly created through running water eroding away at large soluble rock masses, mostly limestone. Over time, rainwater seeps through tiny fissures within the rock, mixes with carbon dioxide, and eventually becomes acidic, allowing it to eat away or dissolve the rock. According to National Geographic's website, the acidic water drips down into the earth, eventually creating formations similar to an underground plumbing system. As more water comes down, the passages grow larger and more water flows through them. More than 100,000 years are required before the cave is large enough to hold a human. When water drips down in a cave, it eventually dries and leaves behind calcium deposits. Over time, more water drips and dries, leaving behind cone-shaped, icicle-like formations called stalactites seen here. As the water drips to the cave floor, a similar process occurs, where the water builds formations upwards. These formations are called stalagmites. Because the Twin Caves are filled with water, stalagmites are not easily visible. According to the Indiana Cave Survey, 2,640 caves can be found in Indiana, 800 of which are located in Crawford and Harrison counties alone. This particular formation within the Twin Caves has become popular with the younger visitors because it apparently has a remarkable resemblance to Patrick from the hit TV show SpongeBob SquarePants. Throughout the tour, visitors may have the opportunity to see interesting cave creatures, one of which is the infamous and endangered blind cavefish. Good luck trying to get a picture, though. The darkness of the caves inhibits any underwater pictures. Indiana caves are a treasured part of our natural landscape, but in order for these environments to thrive, we must be careful and considerate of the fragile habitats that exist within these massive formations. Educating the public about the need and importance of our bats, the risks facing them and their habitats, is a key component of this effort. So we hope this video has provided you with an introduction to the wonders of caves and will encourage you to explore and discover more about our Indiana caves.